Something about the old you is trying its hardest to stay alive. But I see the ones that's leveling up. And that's most of you. If this year right here feels different, 2026, it feels like the new you is required. And the new you ain't playing no games, especially with the old you. But he's trying, or she's trying his best to stay alive. And you feel that pressure or resistance, whatever you want to call it. But I'm here to tell you that pressure, it might look like it's feeling, like things are feeling, but they're not. This pressure right here is shaping you. See, diamonds don't form in comfort. They form in compression. And compression, it's either breaking you or refining you. You get to decide. So, a little bit of woo-hoo stuff, right? They call it woo-hoo. I don't say that. I'm just, making sure I say these terms correctly. But in the Chinese zodiac, I believe, right, it's the fire horse, right? It's about coal, fire, ash, pressure. Hey, fire could create steam, and steam could create pressure, right? It's all the same. Stay with me here. So, if you're going into this year not shameful about you, are you feeling valuable? It's like that. Pressure doesn't destroy value. It reveals it even more. It reveals what it's really made out of. This is you. You're valuable. The pressure is trying to see what you really made out of. It ain't playing no games with you no more. It doesn't care about you specifically, like your name, your this. It cares about how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as valuable? Because if you don't, then it can't integrate with you with this whole new you thing. Pardon me, I just got out the gym, so I just felt like laying this down. So, yeah. So, I used to see things in a paradigm. Means a pattern of thinking, a model, an example. I used to use these patterns of thinking that with my belief, and that was my old paradigm. So now I have a new paradigm, which is, okay, my old paradigm will be something like around these times, I will make a resolution. But like I said before in my prior videos, if you got to see them, a resolution is nothing but a resolution. It's solving again by using something that you already have tried to solve with. That's a resolution. Not framing it in another way. That's where it is. That's where it comes from. So instead of a resolution or a resolution, I had to make a vow to myself, which is a chasm, is an identity you step into. And just like when you get married, you have vows, you have oaths. Of course, people break them, but it's something you got to step into when it's different. When you make an oath, a pledge to yourself. So it came before these times. It was actually preparing me for these times right here. So It was a chasm. It was a vow. So that's my new paradigm. Instead of motivation, I like to replace bad strongholds with good strongholds. I think I broke them down in my last video too. So this is a whole new shift. Or I like to see like willpower. Instead of using willpower, I use frequency before force. And frequency could be kind of like a woohoo word too. Like frequency, because people throw it around a lot. So because the more simplistic things, you break things down more simple, then it gets simpler to understand and simpler to actually apply it. So many do a good job of explaining the word frequency. Many do. It's just the core of my emotions, my core thoughts, emotions, and behaviors or actions that I do after I have these thoughts and emotions. And imagine if they blend all together. If you merge them all together, that would be my frequency, all three of those things, right? My thoughts, my emotions, and my behavior. Imagine if they was just flowing like that. Woo, that'd be my frequency. Woo, like my thoughts, emotions, the way I feel, and then my behavior. Boom, that's my frequency. And then, and especially with thoughts and emotion, I don't have to. There's no behavior. This is where it gets woo because your frequency is no behavior. Like, we can feel each other's frequency, so let's not get too deep. But yeah, simple breakdown. Then another one is pressure, right? Like trying to escape pressure. Now I see pressure as preparation. So these are vows that I make to myself to prepare for these moments right here. And another thing. So I could do the strongholds. Let me see how I'm gonna do this. My markers. Oh, there you go. So strongholds, right? I just got out the gym. I ain't fresh. I ain't fleeing none of that. Let's break these down. So, a bad stronghold. See, bad, good, right? Man, these markers, man. So that's bad. That's good, right? Right? It's clear. If I gotta go get another marker, then I would. Okay. I should. I gotta start being a pro. Okay. So, what we got over here? So what we got? So we got bad. It's backwards too, right, guys? It's backwards. Let me see. I don't know. I can't see y'all. But, okay. Bad. A bad stronghold will be fear. Wow, this is crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hold on. Let me see something. Fear. See, that's backwards. I can't do that to y'all. See, that was too much movement. I couldn't find the marker, so pardon me. I gotta get more professional with y'all, man. I gotta stop playing with this. See, this is now This is now a chasm for me. I'm going to make sure that my deliveries will be more professional for y'all. But real, just like this, but just more professional. Okay, we was at good strongholds and bad strongholds. I showed you the old paradigm to the new paradigm. So I'm just giving you another breakdown or example on good strongholds and bad strongholds. And these things cause pressure, especially when you're going for your transformation. So fear. Turn fear into safety. Look, you could do so many techniques. You could try so many things, new tricks, new techniques, new strategies that people give you. Yo, I'm gonna tell you this right from this is straight up and down. The best way to turn fear into safety is just doing it. That's the best way. But first, if you want to get your toes wet, there's other forms. You could visualize, sit down, meditation, whatever you do. Sit in a quiet room and visualize yourself in that scene and performing all the duties that you want, or seeing all the people that you want, even people you know in there. Just involve them in there. Have them applaud you for the things that you have done, that you want to do. So visualizing yourself. So visualize. Those are techniques. But because your body doesn't know the difference, that's why you visualize. It's cool. And for that, you need some practice though, because there are strongholds within that. But that's a good technique. You visualize yourself already within that scene, doing what you want to do. That's fear into safety, right? There you got. Y'all can see me. I'm telling you, I'm going to get more professional, man. Don't worry, I got my ring light right here. We're going to step it up a couple notches. So you got confusion. See? Markers, bro. Confusion. Let's keep it going, man. We're going to try every marker then. There you go. Into clarity. How do you turn confusion into clarity? Now that one's deep, because confusion doesn't just come from confusion up here. It comes from misalignment, misaligned values. You could tell me, this is just an example, but you could tell me, nah, I don't want to quit my job because I got to be responsible. I think I said this before. Or this is a great example. Yeah, I don't want to quit. Yo, why don't you quit that job that you hate? Nah, because I got to be responsible. Is it because you want to be responsible, or is it because you have fear of the unknown and you don't know what's going to happen yet? So you might lose it all, and you can't be that risky. You could say that. See, that's a value of yours. You might value fear more than being responsible. But it's just how you say it, what you really, really, truly value. That's what you're facing. That's the reality you're facing. I don't want to go too deep. I just want to make it simple. We're going to save that for like one-on-ones or whatever. But confusion to clarity. Temptation into discipline. Hope I spelled it right. I'd be ashamed if it's not spelled right, because I got a tattoo right here. Discipline. Like, well, okay. Okay. So, you have temptation into discipline. See, it's kind of, I have a different outlook on discipline. Temptation doesn't have to be just a sexual thing or sexual rendition or representation or meaning. Temptation doesn't just have a sexual meaning. It could be, you could be an entrepreneur and have shiny object syndrome, or it could be something like, syndrome. It could be like in the movie The Matrix. We could all relate because most of us, 95% of us done watched it. So that you got the woman with the red dress. Temptation can make them looks kind of sexual, right? Because see this beautiful lady coming down the street in a red dress. The environment can make you look because everybody else looks regular. So this is temptation, right? And you got discipline where you do something. This is how they define it. This is how they define discipline. I can't define it like that because I know there's a frequency behind that. Would I explain my emotions, my thoughts, my behaviors, all in one. Now, especially my core emotions. So, doing something, even though I don't feel like doing it, yeah, that's good. I just can't see it like that. I like seeing my frequency full of what I like to do, or whatever I have to do, not what I like to do. Whatever I have to do that day. It's not necessarily planned, it's just like focus. It's like pure focus. So, and nobody else gets to decide what I do and how I do it today, tomorrow, next week, or who I am, or what I got planned for me today. Now, nothing else can intercept that focus. And that's what I call discipline. So if I keep my frequency full and I occupy the space for today, I won't get led by temptation. See, I could say, just like the woman in the red dress analogy, I could say, and I'm Neil, don't look, don't look, don't look. Means that I'm aware of what this lady in the red dress can cause. But I'm still telling myself, don't look, don't look. So somewhere along the line, somewhere in my frequency, there's a there's a blind spot. This is the pressures that we deal with. This is the old self, right? So you got temptation. Then you got, don't worry, we'll get there. Then you got lies. Truth. Simple. You can believe everybody else's stuff, or you can align yourself with your values, which is your truth. Nobody else's. This is your truth. Look, this is you could align yourself with everybody else's thoughts and perspective, or your truth. This is an identity thing. Look, it's right here. You can just look. Let's take away the L. And this is an angle, right? This is the angle. L is an angle, right? It's like a right angle. Let's take away. What does that spell? That's all it is. This is lies. Is really. It's really eyes. It's not your lies. It's not your eyes. It's everybody else's. So, lies. I have to erase that real quick. That was not for everybody, because that you can go down a rabbit hole with that. But lies and truth. Align yourself with your truth, nobody else's truth. You could have similar perspectives, and yeah, and you could adopt them if they feel more close to home to you. But you got your own truth. Get it? So, how else? How else? Now I gotta sit down. I gotta sit down, folks. Now, how else can I break this down? My prior videos, I have subconscious system map, a founder's frequency, and I got the power couple blueprint, something that nobody ever seen before. Still working on it. It's already done. It's just, in the ether of wealth, right? So let's I connected the dots with like Isaac Newton's 3 laws, right? A while back ago, and I just thought about that right now. So you got Isaac Newton's first law, right? I can't say them in order because it's been a while, but I know this. It's the law of inertia. Like an object at rest. I'm still talking about pressure, you guys. It's pressure and what it creates. Right? Strongholds. The old paradigm versus new paradigm. Right? That's what I did before I stopped it. So you got bad and good strongholds that might cause pressure. Not the good ones, but this is the new you transforming. And what you call bad is the pressure that you're facing, especially right now, right before 2026. So you got, now I'm talking about Isaac Newton's law. This is the law of motion, right? He got 3 laws of motion. And if I can remember, it's one that's called law of inertia, right? I believe so. And inertia is somebody, well, an object will remain at rest or remain in motion unless acted on by an outside force. So, what I'm trying to say is I'm still talking about pressure. If you're stuck right now, or if you think you're stuck, all it takes is awareness, the force of awareness to create momentum. And this pressure of transformation, especially this year where it feels like it's required of you, like it's imperative. Your change is imperative, whether you like it or not. All it takes is a perspective shift, is a mindset shift, which changes your frequency. And when you become aware of blind spots hidden within you, it creates momentum. And this is this is what Newton was talking about. Now, it'll remain at rest or remain in momentum or motion unless acted on by outside force. So if you're stuck, all it takes is awareness to get unstuck. Isaac Newton said that's the law of inertia, and overcoming that from your frequency. Now you got the law of force, right? I'm remembering them as I'm talking. So you got the law of force, and I'm trying to give you a perspective, because I know you're transforming, and I know what's happening to you right now. I know what you're seeing in your reality. Don't go back to the old self or the old way of thinking. You got old way of thinking and a new paradigm. You got bad strongholds that keep you like before, the old you, back to normal. And you got good strongholds that you can build right now. So we talk about the law of force, right? So this is about correction. See, once you identify your blind spots, correction creates acceleration. Now start moving, because now you unstuck. Now you unstuck. This is straight up and down. I'm telling you, and I took a couple days off too. Trust me, man. I took a couple days off because I needed it. And yeah, this is transformation season, man. Sometimes you need that rest. But what I said, you got law of force. This is like force. So because I'm remembering as I go. So force is F equals MA. Force is the same. It's equal to mass and acceleration. So the same force that you use from your frequency will create acceleration. And that acceleration, because when you correct your frequency, when you correct it, like with all the things that I just was discussing, like those simple things, it gets deeper, but those simple things that correct your frequency, it gives you direction. Now, just like I said about your frequency, like a simple way of defining it is through behavior or your emotions. Now, if you change your emotion, you ever been mad as hell? And you fixed it. You did your woosah, whatever you did, and it changed. And if you could look back in hindsight, it actually changed the trajectory in which you was going, because it's a different force and it feels lighter. It feels lighter. I'll tell you that much. So I could go over, like I said, the other things that I got. And I just can't wait till the people that I worked with drop some reviews. So I'm going to just leave it like that. I'm going to just leave it like that. I'm going to let the people do that. And then we going to go deeper. So then that's it, right? You got 3. What else you got? To every action, there's a reaction, right? So this is where, frequency, all it takes is awareness to create an opportunity. That's all it takes. So now, another funny thing about pressure is, Isaac Newton's. I'm just remembering all these things from the book I read, and I don't even remember the book. But Isaac Newton's dog. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a big key that you might be going through right now. right before your transformation. Right? So Isaac Newton's dog. Remember we talk about cold pressure? Isaac Newton's dog. Legend has it, his dog's name was Diamond, right? Diamond. Coal. A diamond is nothing but coal that gave it his all and did his best under pressure. That's what a diamond is, coal. So coal burns. Yeah, I know. Everybody knows. Haha. So, legend has it, his dog's name was Diamond. And Diamond, the dog, knocked over a candle and burnt all Isaac Newton's work. Burnt it to smithereens, right? So Isaac Newton said, Diamond, oh Diamond, what have you done? Thou doesn't know the mischief thou hast done. And the moral of that story is, see, Isaac Newton didn't destroy his dog. Even though his dog destroyed most of his work, Isaac Newton didn't destroy his dog. He kept working. So, what I'm saying is, if you feel pressure from you becoming the new you or you transforming where this year is required, it's not pressure that's kind of breaking you. It's frequency. You get it? So Isaac Newton didn't destroy his dog because he was at a loss of all his work. He just kept going. So to y'all, my niggas, keep going. So what I gotta say is, you know, with these things that I got going on, man, I'm gonna get more professional. See, that's sort of like a recap of me is, you know, I'm not professional with this, but I'm gonna just do it for y'all. And I think within 24 hours, I could go live on YouTube, so I'm gonna be able to go live. So I got that going on. I'm gonna make sure I'm more professional for you guys, and I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna just put more of what I do out there, and hopefully, you know, the goal is to have y'all become the best selves, whatever the best version of you. So, I could see y'all. So just imagine yourselves like in 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Without quitting your job just yet, but just making 4K extra from identifying your assignment. And like I said, you don't quit your job just yet. Then if you decide to quit, you can decide to quit. But and I just like helping people with that because I know how tough it was for me to find out what I really have to do. And it's the evolution of it because it keeps growing. It's never like it's it, but you find something and helps a lot. So, y'all already know, man. Let's keep it infinite. Happy New Year. Y'all know it. Let's keep it infinite.